Before he was a billionaire, before he was a global icon, before he was even Jay-Z, he was Sean Carter, a kid from the Marcy houses in Brooklyn. This isn't just a story about music. It's a masterclass in turning struggle into strength and ambition into an empire. So, how did a young man from one of New York's toughest neighborhoods become one of the most influential figures of our time? The story of Jay-Z. The Marcy Projects were ground zero for the crack epidemic, and for a young Sean Carter, survival was the daily curriculum. He was raised by his mother Gloria after his father left, a painful event that would shape much of his early life in music. To make ends meet, he stepped into the street life, hustling on the corners. But even then, something else was brewing. His mind was a sponge, soaking up everything around him, the rhythm of the streets, the language of the hustle, the pain and the dreams. This wasn't just a hobby, it was an outlet. Street figures such as Calvin Klein knew Jay was going to be famous early on. His talent was undeniable. They called him Jazzy because of his smooth, effortless style, which later evolved into the iconic name, Jay-Z. He battled local MCs, sharpening his skills, and even appeared alongside his mentor Jazzo. Fun fact, Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, and Biggie Smalls went to the same high school at the same time. They would all establish their own fan base within the industry. But the music industry wasn't ready for Jay. Major labels couldn't see the vision. They heard the raw street tales and saw a risk, not a revolutionary. Rejection after rejection would have broken most people. But for Jay-Z, it was just another obstacle to overcome. He had a different plan. If the game wouldn't let him in, he would create his own game. In 1995, with his partners Damon Dash and Kareem Biggs Burke, Jay-Z did something audacious. Jay-Z took the money he'd saved up from the streets and invested it in himself. Dame and Biggs would match him. They founded their own independent label, Roc-A-Fella Records. This was the ultimate bet. It was a declaration of independence. Their first release, his debut album, Reasonable Doubt, it wasn't an instant commercial smash, but critics and hip-hop purists immediately recognized it as a masterpiece. The intricate rhymes, the vivid storytelling, the cool, detached delivery, it bore all the hallmarks of a king in waiting. Reasonable Doubt laid the foundation for everything that was to come. With Roc-A-Fella, Jay-Z wasn't just an artist. He was the CEO. This dual role was his secret weapon. As an artist, he dropped hit after hit, album after album, evolving his sound and dominating the charts. We got the glossy pop appeal of Hard Knock Life, the introspective depth of The Blueprint, and the triumphant farewell of the Black Album. Each project was a snapshot of his growth, not just as a rapper, but as a man. But behind the scenes, CEO Carter was making power moves. Roc-A-Fella would break up due to creative differences related to expenditures and protocol. He understood the business of music better than almost anyone, which enabled him to have a stint as president of Def Jam Music, the most famous hip-hop label to date. He would notably sign Rihanna and Young Jeezy. He wasn't just building a career, he was building a dynasty. Jay-Z's genius lies in his ability to see beyond the microphone. He famously said, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman," and he proved it. He diversified his portfolio long before it was the cool thing to do. Roc-A-Fella Collective had launched the Roc-A-Wear clothing line, turning it into a multi-hundred-million-dollar brand at the peak of his career. Jay-Z had scored a sneaker deal with Reebok, where he rolled out his signature shoe, the S Carter, which used the Gucci mold and has an insane resale value to date. He invested in clubs, real estate, and tech startups. He saw the value in ownership. When he launched the streaming service Tidal, it was about artists taking control of their own work. His partnership with the spirits company that produces Dios Cognac and Armand de Brignac Champagne wasn't just an endorsement, it was an equity deal. Each move was calculated, a chess piece placed on a board that extended far beyond the music industry. Then there's the partnership that created a true cultural dynasty, his marriage to Beyoncé. Together, they are more than a power couple. They are a global brand. Their joint tours, surprise albums, and public-facing life have become monumental cultural events. They've navigated the complexities of fame and fortune together, using their platform to champion causes they believe in, from social justice to artistic freedom. Their union represents the pinnacle of success, a blend of immense talent, business acumen, and cultural influence. They don't just follow trends. They create the cultural conversation. From the concrete floors of Marcy to the boardrooms of global corporations, the journey of Sean Jay-Z Carter is a blueprint for ambition. Jay-Z is often seen at sporting events with his daughter Blue Ivy. He transformed his life story into lyrics, his lyrics into a business, and his business into an empire worth over $1 billion. He showed a generation that your circumstances don't define your destiny. ROC Nation manages athletes and artists, procures venues, and advocates for justice reforms. Through his music and his moves, he's always been teaching the hustle, the importance of ownership, the power of reinvention, and the art of playing the long game. His legacy isn't just in his platinum plaques or his bank account. It's in the countless people he inspired to believe that they, too, could build something out of nothing. Thanks so much for watching. If you were inspired by Jay-Z's story, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of cultural icons. Let us know in the comments which Mogul story you'd like to see next. See you in the next one.